It's been a very difficult night for a lot of people, and one of the most tense areas is right here at Lafayette Square, right by the White House. There were tons of protesters there. Before we show you those images, I just want to show you this. This is what we're left with in the morning. It's this remarkable scene. As the sun comes out, you really get the full picture of what exactly happened here. In our team coverage today, we've got a lot of other people talking about what these young people are saying. But I want to take a moment just to talk about this moment in history.
Show me what democracy looks like!
So this is the group right now. We got about 100 people that are here. They're walking down 15th Street. Well, the visuals are just stunning. Look at this. This is over on Glebe Road near the Chain Bridge. As you can see, just a massive hole in the middle of the road. I want to show you one quick thing here using this light right here. You see that grass right there? This is what snow days are all about. We're joined by... Just look at this tree. The diameter of this is easily more than 6 feet. And look how long it is. It stretches along the entire road. This is the E right here. Usually we should be looking at a full E. Right now we're seeing just one little bar. There was a fire in a median that was set. It was a large bang. People started running towards us, so we ran towards the noise. And that's where we saw this blaze that was set in the median. I think that if he wins by a little bit, that's not really a victory. Exactly. He needs to win big. What does this do for people like you who will not be in Iowa? You're going to be right here in D.C. All eyes have been on Capitol Hill this week. That's where the Senate finalized the plan to send stimulus checks to millions of Americans. But there's a lot of confusion about this plan. So let's clear it up. I want to tell you a quick story that sort of describes the feel of what it was like in there. And frankly, Larry, if you watch 6 hours of that debate or just 10 minutes, you may have seen something similar. We've heard it from both sides. The son of the president, Donald Jr., in fact, was calling for him to be removed from the GOP through Twitter. Meanwhile, here on the Atlantic side, there are more signs of gratitude. We've got more bouquets of flowers and this photograph. No description, no name, but to whoever you are, thank you. Well, Larry, at this point, it's back to normal traffic here. This was one of the first spots where we saw action. Around 6:30, we were with groups that were here. Now what's left behind, just the chalk that was showing that at some point there was some sort of protest going on here. There are tons of visuals we need to get to here and all around this general area, but we need to start over on 14th Street and C Street.
Rise up till it's won. Media, out of the roadway.
Let me set the scene. Protesters took over the road, blocking it with this silver car with a person attached to it and this red van with 2 people on top. Eventually, it was towed away. The people were still on top of the van.
They are here to hurt us!
Things got a little testy on the sidewalk.
Step back, step back, step back.
Then police removed a blind man from the passenger seat of that silver car. Eventually, they were able to remove the other man from that car. 2 blocks away, another chaotic scene at 12th Street. Protesters took over Independence Avenue.
The earth is on fire.
Their message? Action is needed.
Well, we're here barricading Independence Avenue to show that business as usual with climate change is over in Washington, D.C.
Social media is full of photos, videos, and information about these protests across the country. And here on the Verify team, it's our job to dig through it all and find out what's real and what's not. First, let's talk about tweets like this, which have gone viral. Heard earlier they found pipe bombs at the Korean War Memorial. To find out the truth about this pretty scary claim, we went straight to the Park Police. They sent us this statement, quote, "We were advised that a tweet said that there were pipe bombs at the Korean Memorial. The memorial and all adjacent areas were swept by explosion detection canines with negative results." Translation, no pipe bombs were found, and this rumor is false. The pipe bomb rumor seems to have started with this Twitter account, Jack Posobiec, from the One American News Network, that's been retweeted some 32,000 times. He offered this response to criticism about the pipe bomb rumor, writing, "I stand by my source." Next, this video, uploaded to Twitter, captioned, "Rioters and looters invading homes in D.C."
Go inside someone's home?
Now, out of context, this video can be pretty scary stuff. So let's stick to the facts. First, our researchers were able to trace back the video to the night of June 1st on Swan Street near Logan Circle.
I was on the top step and I flung open the door and just started grabbing people and just saying, "Get in."
That's when Raul Dubé, the homeowner, welcomed dozens of protesters into his home to wait out the curfew. The next morning, he was celebrated by protesters for letting them in. Our team showed Dubé the video, and he confirmed for us. This video is of his home on his street, of him inviting people in, not rioters rushing his home. That rumor is false. Now, these protests, of course, are ongoing, so if you've got a question about this or anything else, just send us an email at verify@WUSA9.com.
I was riding on this 2-lane road. I had come from my neighborhood, which is over there.
Julie Briskman is showing us where it all happened. Lowe's Island Boulevard in Sterling. It's less than a mile away from the Trump National Golf Course. In late 2017, Trump's motorcade went by.
As they were passing me, I was frustrated, obviously, with this administration, and I flipped them off.
At the next stoplight, she then did it again. Little did she know, someone was watching.
So somebody in the press pool caught the photo.
Yes.
Are you glad they did?
Yeah, I'm glad they did. I mean, for me personally, but also because I think it expressed how so many people were feeling and so many people resonated with it.
It's a photo that quickly spread online, making her a hero for some and an enemy for others.
Oh, did you get that?
Even while out there, we saw it. Someone stuck the middle finger right at her, and it wasn't a friendly one.
I'm a symbol, right? And I'm happy to be that symbol.
Back at her home, just a few blocks away, she explains how it escalated from there. This photo spread like wildfire. Soon, her company, Akima LLC, fired her because of it. When the story got out, she went viral with the hashtag #her2020. Turns out, they were off by a year. She would win a spot on the Loudoun Board of Supervisors this year in 2019.
Perhaps the biggest victory belongs to a woman named Julie Briskman.
Her story making headlines, both serious and satire.
Virginia's got a new county supervisor and a new state bird.
If you could take it back and not hold up that middle finger, keep your job, would you rather have done that, or are you happy where you ended up?
Life is so much more interesting right now. I wouldn't take it back.
Outside the Russell Senate building, a small group of young people are huddling together. They're talking game plan. Moments later, they're heading inside, bringing their message to lawmakers. That's when the singing begins. They're singing to Jata Freeman. Here in the office of Democratic Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, Jata makes her point.
My birthday is tomorrow. I will be turning 18. And with that comes the ability to vote. And so I would just want my vote to matter, my voice to count as a D.C. resident.
These advocates are part of a group called 51 for 51. They're fighting for statehood, just like many before them. But what makes the group unique is their strategy. They're trying to change the rules in the Senate.
And this is when it could get a little bit complicated. So let's slow things down and dive into Civics 101. Typically in the Senate, you need 51 votes, a simple majority. But complicating the matter is something called the filibuster. If just one senator takes the floor and keeps talking, he or she could theoretically delay a vote indefinitely. And there's only one way to stop a filibuster. It's something called a vote of cloture. That is 60 senators coming together and voting that the filibuster should end. And this brings us to the group's plan. They want to change the rules in the Senate and get rid of the filibuster for bills relating to DC statehood. That would mean they would only need 51 votes, not 60.
We need to have a vote. We need to have a voice, especially because all of this is happening in our city, but we don't matter. We don't have a voice in what's going on.
And this idea of getting rid of the filibuster is certainly not unprecedented. In fact, over the last decade, lawmakers have been chipping away at the filibuster. And there's blood on both sides of the aisle. First, in 2013, it was the Democrats. Frustrated by GOP resistance, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid triggered the so-called nuclear option for the first time. They voted to change the rules so that you only needed 51 votes to confirm lower-level nominees in the executive and the judiciary. 4 years later, this would come back to bite them. The Republicans were now in charge. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell led his party to use the nuclear option once again, this time to confirm Supreme Court justices with just 51 votes. So in a way, this is just a continuation of a trend. So says Alan Morrison, the Associate Dean at George Washington University's Law School. He says this is just yet another attempt to weaken the filibuster.
Until the filibuster rule was changed by the Democrats during the Obama administration, nobody wanted to touch the filibuster rule. Once you start to unravel the filibuster with one party, there's no way you can put it back together again.
Xander feels normal here. It's this farm over in Bowie called the Big Purple Barn for obvious reasons. And when here, Xander's like a lot of 10-year-olds.
The smallest one is Bradley, who my mother calls my cousin. Hey, Bodie, no.
Xander plays with the animals here, climbs fences, basically is just a normal kid.
I'm used to getting these splinters.
But in a lot of ways, Xander also comes here to escape.
There's no being bullied here, and there are only a couple true slip-ups. Hello, Coop.
Slip-ups.
Cooper.
As in being misgendered. You see, Xander identifies as non-binary, meaning from a young age, Xander didn't feel like a boy or a girl. That's why Xander goes by they, them, and their, not he or she.
I am who I am, and now I'm actually coming out.
It's a life that many just don't understand.
And, well, yeah.
And it's led to a lot of pain for Xander, who's no stranger to ridicule and bullying. That's why we're here today.
I don't care if I'm going to be bullied. I will correct them and move on with my life. I will try to correct this problem.
Xander's trying to change people's minds and show them what it really means to be 10 and non-binary. So we were invited to shadow Xander for months through the ups and downs.
Xander is a history-obsessed, theater-obsessed kid.
None of this would have been possible without the consent of Xander's mom, Rachel.
They started noticing or saying that they felt different when they were about in kindergarten.
That's when Rachel first started to understand what Xander was going through. Now, some 5 years later, Xander is taking a big step. This year, in the 4th grade, Xander came out to the rest of the class.
When Xander told me that they wanted to come out this year, I worried, but I can't show Xander the worry.
You see, Xander's a student here at the Heather Hills Elementary School in Bowie. That's where I first met Xander, and right away, Xander told me that coming out wasn't easy.
It was very hard.
And why?
Well, I didn't think they want to be my friend anymore.
Xander definitely feels bullied at school. Says kids misgender on purpose, make jokes. Many just don't understand.
And some are like, no, you were born this gender, so you have to be this gender for the rest of your life.
And that's why the barn has been so special.
I like to give the tours.
It's a place where Xander feels safe.
Over there, by the white car.
Something Xander doesn't feel at school.
It's getting so out of hand that I'm having to, if you do this one more time, I will tell Miss Manuel, the principal.
And the school is trying to address this. They didn't want to speak on camera, but told us that teachers were given training in August on what it means to be non-binary, and the teachers were taught about Xander's pronouns. The school also identified so-called safe staff to help Xander deal with problems at school. They're also training the students. The school counselor spoke with Xander's class 2 times about what it means to be non-binary and about Xander's pronouns. And the entire school took part in diversity training, 3 hours over 6 weeks, in which part of the focus was on gender identity. But Rachel thinks more training is needed.
It's extremely frustrating because I feel like the bullying's going to continue because nobody's going to teach the children what they need to learn. No one's going to explain to them that Xander's not a totally different kid.
Stella!
In the meantime, Xander has longed for a community, some sort of group to help navigate this complicated life. But Xander and Mom couldn't find anything, so they took matters into their own hands.
Mine is a metallic egg. I'm drawing the pride flag. Hello!
This is the brand new Bowie Area Non-Binary and Transgender Youth Alliance. Once a month, Xander meets with others in the same or similar situations.
So shiny. Yeah, I love shiny.
People like Liam,
I like sparkly and shiny.
who's still exploring their identity,
People are jerks.
and Claire, who's 13 and gender fluid. That means some days, like this one, she feels like a girl, and other days like a boy.
I wanna.
She's been a mentor of sorts for Xander.
I want to educate people on being different is good and that you don't have to be the same as everyone else, because if you're the same, you don't stand out. And if you don't stand out, then you can't be cool.
Here, Xander and the others can just be kids.
Feel like I am surrounded by friends and that there's no criticizing here. I'm perfect.
A safe space, just like at the farm. In these places, we see who Xander really is. Xander is just a kid.
Usually I just feel like me. In truth, I just feel like me.